Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, leaving a like or a comment or subscribing, all of these things do help out the channel immensely. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. As is to be expected, the cryptocurrency news is completely all over the place around a good, I want to say 10 or so hours ago. It says market update, crypto market rebounds as tech firms can't read out the rest of that. There was a slight heavy movement up in the cryptocurrency prices a few hours ago. And then, however, of course, nothing too dramatic. It says Bitcoin rally cools down, but Bitcoin whales are becoming increasingly active. Prices are currently like sideways down. It doesn't look too bad. We're not down by 15%. We're not down by 29% by any means. But a lot of the world markets are still logically reacting to what's going on right now. And Bitcoin seems to be following the same general trend. There was a lot of altcoin news as to where the altcoin prices are going. What's happening to this altcoin right now? It says Solana fails to retain $100. A retest of $93 is possible. This one says technical analysis. Ethereum prints a bearish pattern. Why it could correct to 2,800. These aren't really bearish patterns or bearish technical anything. It's just that once again, Bitcoin is the main coin of the market. Bitcoin is reacting to the same way that other markets are also reacting to the developing news that we continue to get every couple of hours. However, and I thought this was extremely weird once again, there seem to be two camps of people in the cryptocurrency space right now. It's either that prices are lull and may retest previous lows of where we were before. However, on the other side, you have a lot of gearing up for a rally. Price is going to move up. This is exactly where Bitcoin's, I saw multiple, this is where Bitcoin's going to be by the end of 22 articles today. And I was like, how do you all know where Bitcoin's going to be in 9 months' time? I'm not really sure. It says Bitcoin price gearing for another liftoff. Rally isn't over yet. This one says Bitcoin taker buy sell volume show buy signal as Bitcoin gears up for rally. This one says Bitcoin on the brink of a new uptrend. You see what I'm talking about? So I simply think it is a matter of realism and or optimism, or optimism and or realism, depending on how you're looking at the current situation that is happening right now and where people think that Bitcoin's price could be going, or despite that happening, that Bitcoin's price can still move up. As I saw more than my fair share of articles today discussing that gold had rebounded and was performing better than Bitcoin over the course of the last 2 weeks, and I don't know how they even got those numbers. Bitcoin went up by, I think, 14% since we heard about the news taking place sometime last week. Gold has gone up by 0.05%, half of 1% in the same exact time. So I'm not really sure if people don't have calculators or exactly what's taking place. I looked around to see if there was any explicit news as to price movements around the world because of what's going on. European markets it says markets are cautiously higher, but even then it's roughly around 0.5% or 1%, as I think there are discussions of talks, but even that I don't believe are going to actually help anything, just once again being completely realistic because of the people who are involved. And then on top of that, a lot of other stock markets and futures around the world are also falling. I just assume based on, once again, the actual reality of the situation. And petrol continues to jump as well because, once again, of the situation. So that was basically all the price news. I mean, it was, there were, of course, more articles talking about it, but it came down to people. I think the craziest one that I saw was an analyst talking about that he believes that Bitcoin is on its way back to $15,000 to $20,000 off of no basis at all. It's simply we need to move back down that low for Bitcoin to move back high again. And I've made fun of all of those articles over the last couple of years because every single time that we get one of those articles, they never make a lot of sense. It's simply, well, I believe that Bitcoin has to go back down to 15,000 and on for why? On what basis? What would make Bitcoin stronger by falling back down to $15,000 as opposed to simply staying at 40,000 and then moving back up from there? That would show me a lot more strength. Like the idea of Bitcoin consistently, and it's always, if you pay attention over the course of a year, we get about 15 different articles like that, or also analysts stating that Bitcoin would be stronger after a fall down like that. And it's why does Bitcoin have to why doesn't the stock market have to collapse every 6.5 weeks in order for it to go back up where it was before? Why aren't home prices decreasing by 65% and then going back up by the end of the year? Anyway, that's all the price news, at least for right now. We are getting closer to the weekend, and I think that's going to be the major test because for some reason the cryptocurrency market, despite being 24 hours a day, tends to see a lull and or move down period over the course of the weekend, similar to the stock market. Anyway, that's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, in news that people tried to make news, but this isn't really news. Multinational financial services giant Charles Schwab has responded, air quote, to client demand to invest in cryptocurrency by filing with the US SEC to launch a crypto economy ETF. The filing comes just a week after the head of the investor services at Schwab, Jonathan Craig, told news source Financial Advisor IQ that 1 in 6 Schwab clients had expressed interest in making crypto investments. He said a full 16% of Schwab's clients plan to put money into cryptocurrencies in the first half of the year, end quote. The proposed ETF aims to track the returns, of an index designed to deliver global exposure to companies that may benefit from the development of utilization of cryptocurrencies and other assets. Did you get it? There's no actual mention of them actually investing in a cryptocurrency. According to the official filing, the ETF would use the Schwab Crypto Economy Index as a benchmark index and invest in at least 80% of its net assets into the stocks listed on the Schwab Crypto Economy Index from companies that utilize Bitcoin and other digital assets. So this is another, the word isn't farce. It's kind of like, hey, look at what we're doing. We're investing in the cryptocurrency space. I assume, once again, I definitely assume this would be a normal, real spot Bitcoin ETF if they were able to do so. And when I said this isn't really news, it's because many other companies are trying to do the exact same thing and pass it off as if these are actual cryptocurrency ETFs. These are ETFs that are investing or based on an index of other companies who either have exposure to Bitcoin or also launching their own ETFs that are also having exposure to Bitcoin as well. And I mean indirect exposure, like they aren't investing in companies that also have cryptocurrencies, which also then makes no sense. Like, why not just simply invest in, now hear me out here, in Coinbase or other companies? Then you need an entire index of companies who are near and or touching cryptocurrencies as opposed to actually the cryptocurrencies themselves. So this was, and I say quite popular news very lightly, simply because it has another financial institution with the word ETF next to it. And people are, wow, this may be the precursor to a Bitcoin ETF. No time soon. Here's the actual original article from Financial Advisor IQ. It says 1 out of 6 Schwab clients plans to invest in crypto. Why they simply don't now, once again, why these people simply aren't going to Coinbase, to Binance, to Kraken, to Gemini, and they all have over-the-counter markets and they deal with very heavy numbers a lot of the time. Why why do you think they would want to invest extra money into a stock market as opposed to the actual cryptocurrencies, but they would want to invest in an ETF as opposed to directly buying Bitcoin? Has completely escaped me. So that's the Charles Schwab news. Once again, quite popular today, but it won't lead to anything as we continue to see a lot of these ETFs and other stock funds that are based on the stocks of other companies who are near or in the cryptocurrency space. The same exact thing with whatchamacallit. Bitcoin and Ethereum futures ETFs, as well as the normal futures, continue to see a rapid decline in volume because nobody wants to trade that garbage. So yeah, that's the Charles Schwab news. Fantastic. Can't wait for this to launch. Let's move on. Also, there's a lot of like mega companies entering the crypto space news. Hong Kong listed virtual asset platform Huobi Technology Holdings has launched a cryptocurrency over-the-counter service. What? No way. The firm announced to Cointelegraph on Wednesday. Listed on the main board of the Hong Kong Stock Exchange since 2016, Huobi Technology was originally known as Pantronics, and it happened in 1990. Huobi Technology has been actively moving into the crypto industry in recent years, but operates independently of Huobi Group, the entity that owns Huobi Global Cryptocurrency. There's a lot of Huobis going on. The two companies share some shareholders, logically, but they also are two separate legal entities, a spokesperson told Cointelegraph. According to the latest announcement, Huobi Technology now allows investors to trade crypto by over-the-counter using crypto block trading services and fiat currencies like the US dollar. They plan to add the euro, the British pound, and the Hong Kong dollar in the future. I think it's funny that they are Hong Kong based. Did I read that correctly? And the first thing that they have is the US dollar and not even the Hong Kong dollar, which I find quite fascinating. So yeah, Huobi Tech Services, Huobi Technology Holdings, there we go, is moving into the crypto space even more than before. How weird. I would have never assumed that they were doing that. Do you remember in 2018, 2019, we had a lot of companies who kind of even washed away the old thing that they were doing and simply announced that they were getting into Bitcoin mining and the cryptocurrency space. I wonder what happened to those companies. I assume they made tons of money, just aren't just, publicizing it. But you always wonder when people kind of change their what they were doing before to just get into cryptocurrencies, especially because I don't assume that anyone is going to be launching an over-the-counter service, which is usually aimed at very rich people who want to buy millions of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies at one time. As they probably heard from their clients and like, hey, you got this service because I want to use it from you as well. Anyway, that's the Huobi Technology. He is having an over-the-counter service. Can't believe it. That's insane. Why would they be doing that? It's not like cryptocurrencies are taking over the world or something like that. Ha 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 ha. All right, that's that news. Let's move on. In what news? ADASwap's developing decentralized exchange is backed by a dozen venture capitalists and angel investors. It will include both DeFi integration and an NFT marketplace. ADASwap, one of Cardano's first decentralized finance protocols, recently raised $2.6 million to build a new decentralized exchange native to the blockchain. Funding was led by iAngels, a female-led venture capital firm, and included 9 other leading venture capitals such as Shima Capital, Pluto Digital, and Coty. Even the producer, model, and actress, Gal Gadot, alongside producer Jaron Varsano, I have no idea who that is, have taken part in the round. When I tell you, I don't understand why this was so popular. Like, I get that Gal Gadot is like super popular, people love her. She puts on tights and runs around and throws a shield or has a whip or whatever she does in the movie. But nearly every single article, even the one right here, basically goes on for paragraphs to talk about exactly what ADASwap is, what it does, how it works. But then they have only one line that she participated in a $2.6 million funding round. And for some reason, this made the most popular news story of the day because it's gal doing it. So therefore, we should be more hyped. You must have seen that, once again, every single rich person on the planet is into cryptocurrencies. It is not surprising at all that she may have thrown $200,000 at the project. It's not even that she may believe in Cardano. It's simply that, hey, I'm going to invest in the top 20 coins. 5 of them are going to make it, and therefore my return will be absolutely stupendous. Have you ever seen the videos? You must have. It's been years now. At some point on YouTube, where they talk to like, right to it, where they talk to like Jay-Z or like Shaq or like other like really like major figureheads in the world, like actual icons. And they talk to them about like, I remember one time somebody was talking to Shaq and they were like, why'd you invest in Google? This was a really smart move. He's like, no, actually in the very beginning, we had like $5 million to move around. So we just kind of put 100,000 everywhere. And then 3 of them actually worked out of the 50 that we put money in. But like, you look like a genius after the fact. But before the fact, these celebrities have been putting tons of money into crypto for a very long time. So I don't know if it's people think that because Wonder Lady did it, that therefore Cardano has more of a success rate. It's like, no. When you have tons of money, you have to invest in tons of things. You're not going to have your money in a bank account consistently losing 7% every year, not only because of inflation, but also just in general. If you invest in other things that have a potentially huge upside, you're going to put your money into them so that maybe you can have a 100, 300, 400% return over the course of a 1 or 2 year period, as opposed to once again just leaving your money in the bank account. The ADASwap decentralized exchange will allow users to swap Cardano native tokens and stablecoins without relying on centralized exchanges. That's why it's called a decentralized exchange. Its function will be similar to Uniswap, which is currently the most popular DEX on Ethereum. According to the press release, ADA will go hand in hand with some of ADASwap's other protocols, including an upcoming NFT marketplace. The DEX will also reportedly include DeFi capabilities, I would hope so, such as staking coins and earning interest from long-term and high-yield liquidity pools. So, once again, I don't know how this news, not even this particular news, it's always the news that probably shouldn't be like, this would be cool in passing. Like, wow, I can't believe she has money and she put it into the market. Would have never guessed that. But we've had other days where Bitcoin has gone up by like 16% and it had like 3 articles, and then Elon Musk's left toenails slipper did a backflip, and that was also really popular as well. Anyway, so cool. Congratulations. I hope her money grows ever more in this endeavor, but sure. I only have 2 tabs open here because I couldn't open the 15 that I found discussing Wonder Madame investing in Cardano. So, right. Let's move on. And to finish things off, and once again, another rich company getting into the cryptocurrency space, in a move that may suggest, wink, growing institutional interest in cryptocurrencies and NFTs, Nomura Holdings has announced it is establishing a new digital asset team to look into possible opportunities in the asset class. The wealth management company said that it is restructuring its future innovation company into a brand new digital company, fantastic, which will begin operations in April. The main objective of the new company will be to increase clients' use of digital assets and provide related services. Nomura Group President and CEO Kentaro Okuda said the new digital company will lead deeper collaboration among internal and external stakeholders, accelerate our uptake of digital technologies, and enhance our client services. Fantastic. So apparently they're going to be focusing on cryptos and NFTs and other digital assets, and I'm completely shocked. Oh, this is also a very weird photo. I don't know how did you, what? Is there something holding up the calculator behind it? Have you ever used one of these calculators? These don't have like proper round edges, like the actual that they would lay flat. So I don't know how that. I mean, some type of witchcraft. Anyway, That's the other major. I mean, not really much more to say because this continuously happens every single day, all the time. And it's really weird because I think the only people who know of this news are just people with like really into the cryptocurrency space. And then even then, people within the cryptocurrency space who hear news like this, it means almost nothing to them because you may yourself have never heard of Nomura Holdings, and therefore you're like, well, I don't know them, so therefore it's not significant at all. Not really realizing that we have about 5 news stories like this. Over the course of a week, we have at least, I'm going to say 12 to 14 news stories, roughly around there, every single week, not realizing that these companies are buying up tons of cryptocurrencies. And I've noticed a lot of times, a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space won't even listen to or hear news that has nothing to do with coins that they themselves don't hold. That's what I find the most fascinating about this entire market, is that if you are only holding on to Chainlink, Cardano, and Solana, and there's some type of like Bitcoin or Ethereum news, people will completely, well, that doesn't make any sense, not even realizing that we've heard ourselves, have read on the screen, there are now hundreds of companies around the world who are exclusively buying tons of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but that's also besides the point. Anyway, I think the cryptocurrency market is so fascinating, and I'm sure people are writing books and mini documentaries and all these other things on them as well, because it's such a weird play on the human mind that you could get really good news about something, but it means almost nothing to you because you don't have a vested interest in said thing, and therefore it's like, well, I don't care about it, I don't want to touch it at all. I find it, I talk about this with my friends all the time. The same exact thing with NFTs or even real estate. Like I've discussed real estate with friends or like the idea of them getting into it, but because they themselves don't currently own any property, it's almost like abstract to them. They're like, well, you know, I don't really own property, so why should I care about the property market moving in London or moving in Paris or in Vancouver or something like that? Very, very fascinating how the mind works. And then on top of that, and I mean, this really, how do I even say this? So that's all the news for the video. Everything else that was in the news, and I want to say a good 85% of the stuff that was out there basically had to do with the current situation of things that's going on. Yeah, you may notice that the videos the last couple of days are definitely like a bit shorter. Not like dramatically shorter, but there's no news. This is all the news that's really taking place. Like, it's just constantly things like this over and over and over. And if anyone breathes heavily around this situation, it ends up making the news, but it kind of is all the news that there currently is out there. So hopefully things get better or cool down or something because, you know. All right. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally, Darren Davis, How's Life Austin, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and Let's Move On, Chris Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, The Dealers, Den, Red Plum, Tomato, Umnu, Wishniki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Late Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Bitty, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Starson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamaroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Manj, Yalavodi, Jim Garner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller His, Chess Everyday, and Kyle Skips, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bustos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. And yeah, at the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $43,300. It is down by 1.69%. You see the little like weird jumps and then back down, then jumps and then back down. I think this will continue for a while. The correlation to the stock market is definitely real at this point, especially as whenever stocks are lulling and going down a tiny bit, the cryptocurrency, and I don't know why there's a direct correlation. It's the weirdest thing in the entire world. I find it hard to believe that you would get everyone in the cryptocurrency market, or even people who are willing to sell their Bitcoin at all, would kind of move in sync with stock markets around the world when it comes to, I mean, anything. It's very, very odd how the market continuously moves just like this. But I mean, we also saw the whole Wyckoff chart pattern, which means that institutions and stock traders and all these other people are in the market now. So, you know, it moves when they will it to. Avalanche is down by 4. Shiba Inu is down by 4. There was one that I saw like a spike as I was scrolling down. Cosmos is up by 5. Near Protocol is up by 2. Where's that? There we go. OKB coin is up by 10%. Why OKB and not Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano or Solana or Chainlink or Sixth Coin? I don't really know, but OKB okay, it's $100 million worth of trading volume, which means if you pump 50 million into that, you're going to be able to move the market this way. This market will never make sense to me as to why a coin that even now in the news is actively being accumulated, especially in the two places that we are talking about, and doesn't have a daily movement upward like this when we know that it's being accumulated and being used, will always confuse me. Internet Computer is up by 2. VeChain Thor is up by 2. And yeah, I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Wherever you might be, I hope you're okay, and I hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.